G'day guys, in this video I'm going to go through a little bit of the Zyzzyva tools, particularly the quiz and the card box. These are one of the probably the most useful things in studying, especially bonus words, and it's used by a lot of top players to basically just practice their anagrams and get really good. I have been using it for about 6 months. I didn't use it that much before. I didn't know how to really use it effectively. And look, the way that the card box is set up and the way that it gives you the questions, it's a personal choice about how you do it. But once, basically what this will do is it'll set you up so you can either one, use the quiz really effectively, or two, even begin to start using the card box. And look, if you have any questions, specific questions about the card box system and either what's the most effective way to use it, or what kind of questions to even put in, yeah, by all means, post a message and I'll address it in a later video. So how to get to the quiz, I think it's this button, yeah, new quiz, or I just go through here. The options that you have for the new quiz, you can choose your lexicon, you can choose whether you're having anagrams with hooks. I don't use these ones. Word list, recall, I don't even know what these are. I assume this one is you've got like what you could say, oh, what's the top 100 bonuses, and you want to, recall all of them. Or well, let's give. I guess we could give it a try. I don't know. I'm not even going to use that. Hooks, which is obviously useful. They're always fun. I like studying hooks because it's like tricks. You can turn. Things that aren't an S, if you have a word ment, M-E-N-T, for example. I'll just go back here to show you what I mean. Now I've got my search things set up so that I get the hooks on either side. So M-E-N-T. So the fact that it takes an A, the fact that I even know ment, but it doesn't take an S, but it does take the A and the O. And it tells you here, by hovering over it, tells you what the different meanings are. You can I find hooks really fun. But going back to the quiz, which is supposed to be part of this video, let's just use an example quiz. Let's use something simple. So I want to do some anagrams. Let's say I want to. Now I can do this in a few ways. I can use the length option, which is here, or I can use the pattern. So I have used the length in previous videos, so I'm going to use the pattern. So let's say I want a 7-letter word, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm using the full stop. That's just a wildcast that say a letter. If I were to use the star, that will give me all words that are 7 letters and over. So the star means any number, whereas the dot or the question mark, in this case I'll just use it there, means 7-letter word. Right, now I'm going to use something that not many people probably use, and that's the probability order. I'm going to choose something low that I can actually get. I'm also going to go with a number of anagrams, so I'll just add in these ones. Number of anagrams, just wait there, and probability order. I think what I'm going to do is use what's called a limit by probability order. Now, the way that these are, I think the way these are different are the probability order is like the raw figure. So if I were to put in the top, between 100 and 110, limit by probability order, I think I get, do I get less or more? I don't even know. Let's try. So I'm just going to choose something. Now I advise that you do it give yourself some easy questions. Give yourself, when you're just learning, use letters. I sometimes, let's say, yes, let's use blanks, and I want there to only be one anagram. Now, the reason I do this is when you're quizzing yourself, if a word has multiple anagrams, that's great to know, but it's very time consuming to think of the different anagrams. So when you're sort of wanting a focused study or just practice, I think it's better to stick to one anagram words to begin with, and also to stick to a realistic number of quiz questions. So I think, well, we'll see what this turns up. Does it turn up anything? I'm just going to go quickly save the search. As you can see, I've got a bunch of different ones that are that were already done. 4s that were single letter words. I think that's what I did. I wanted to work out what the like emergency 4s were, and by emergency I mean words that have they've got one anagram, so you're not going to work out. You know, you've got a bunch of hard letters. They've got one anagram, and you know they're like your saving grace for like a really terrible rack, and that's what I wanted to achieve with those. I think that's what I wanted to achieve with those. What I ended up doing, so as you can see, it's been a while since I looked at that. Yeah, almost 6 months ago. So I'm kind of done with them. So okay, we're just going to use this. We'll just call this the YouTube probability quiz. Save that. I'm going to come back to that if it doesn't do what I want it to. So I'll go. I'll take off lax. I don't. Yeah. Once again, I'm not sure. Okay, they came up with 10 questions. Good. I think if I use the other one, it uses the probability rankings that or the raw rankings, whereas this one uses the top 100 to 110. So from 109 to 110, they're ranked somehow off the of single anagrams only. All right, right. So we've set it up. This is your quiz page, and down here, where my cursor is, in this box is where you would type your answers. You don't have to type your answers. You can just hit the enter button. It'll give you the answer, and then if you think you knew what it was, you can just hit the mark dismiss, and I'll show you that in a minute. So I don't use the flashcard mode, but you certainly can. The letter order you can choose if you like the alphagrams, and hit the reorder button. It'll give it to you as this. You can change this display under I think it's under quiz tile images, white pro border, for example, letter order. So it's got these things, start in flashcard mode, so I've got that off. Show number of responses in status bar. So what that refers to is how many correct answers there are. If you're dealing with a rack of letters or a quiz question that has multiple anagrams, this is of course going to be 2, and it'll tell you how many you are. Some people like to switch this off because they want to know whether they're dreaming about how many anagrams there are to certain things. Require lexicon symbols. Turn this off. You almost don't need it at all. I think if you were playing in a tournament where it was the North American dictionary, you might want to study with that kind of with that on, but it's up to you. So end question after all correct responses. That's just to speed things up. Go to next question after all correct responses. I like to review things, so I have this switched off. End question after an incorrect response. So I switch this off as well, because okay, say something's got multiple anagrams and I get one wrong, I still want to have a go if I get some. So if I thought this anagram was like, like was an ISE word and I put it in and it was wrong, it'd go immediately to the next question. I don't want that to happen. I actually want to know what the solution is. Cycle answers after ending a question. What that does, that just puts a little animation where it goes to the next one. So if this was a retains rack, which has got 11 anagrams, it would go anestry, anthesia, nastia, retains, resilient, retina. It would go through all the different anagrams. Timer says I don't have the timer set, so these are my selections. If I took the tile images off, I don't think it's done that. I don't know. So I use the tile images. This particular ones. I think you can download other ones, and you can even make your own if you want. Yeah, you can do that. What it would do instead, if it's a tile theme, I think. Yes, it's taken that off. Let's just do this for an example. Hit OK. All right, I'm just going to do the first question to see if it goes to the next one. Evasion. Okay, so I've hit enter. It tells me my stats for this question since I've started. It tells me when I got it right, which the last time it was correct. So that was today, just now. Tells me it's correct. It tells me its probability. I have these set. I think the probability, playability things, that must be in preferences. General, search. I'll go through this later. Yeah, here you go. So the word tables, the display columns, wildcard matches. Okay. So I think what this is if I'm using the quiz question, probability, playability. I have these just out of curiosity. Hooks, inner hooks. Some people like inner hooks. I don't. Just because I want to see the words. They're fun though. They are fun. Definitions. You don't have to have the definition up. Lowercase for wildcard matches. Some people prefer that. Lexicon symbols. So you can select it here. You can, if you've got different dictionaries. So basically, what this means is that whenever a word that is in the 2015 version, and whenever basically new words there, it puts a plus symbol there. Sort by word length. Group by anagrams. So you can hit the group by anagrams, and if it's a search list, it'll do that for you. If it's like the that helps with the wildcard matches. That kind of goes hand in hand with that. So those are the selections I have for the word tables. Anyway, we're going to go on to the next one. Okay, so now it's come up with the normal things. Now you can select this. Once again, I'm going to go back and switch it back to the one that I like. Quiz, and I just use the tile images. Okay. There's no refresh. And you'll notice that it's the same set of letters, A, I, O, S, O, N, E, with an M this time. And the last set of letters, we had it with a V. The reason for that is there are 2 V's in the Scrabble bag, and there's 2 M's. And that's all you need to know in terms of strategy, is that there's an equal chance to get an M or a V throughout the game. So the solution to this one, I'm just going to enter it in again. Enemies. Of course, I'm using for this description, I'm using ones I probably know or should know. But in future videos, I'm going to go through Cardbox in another video, because that deserves its own. It basically deserves to be talked about by itself. So I'll just go to the next one. So you'll notice something again. A, E, I, O, and then L, R, V. So L, there are 4 L's, and R, there are 6 R's, just as there are 6 N's and 6 T's. So these kind of words are related in terms of probability. and that's why it's good to know them, because they do come up often. Solution is variole. That's Variole. I believe it also has an S hook on the end. Also has an O hook on the front, which is fun. I don't have to... Now, if I don't know it, I can just hit the enter button. Great. And it tells me that. And it says overall 1 out of 2. The last time I got it, yes, 6 months ago. So I did test myself on this. Now, if I've mistakenly hit the button, I can hit the markers correct here, and we're done. Enter. So enter to go to the next one. Alright, so I'll let you have a think about what that anagram is. You can pause the video now because I'm going to do it, but what I'm going to do with this one is actually do a false entry to show you what happens. Say I wanted to do, I thought it was maybe, Elopian or something. Incorrect. So it tells me it's wrong, and you'll remember the settings I had in my preferences where I said end question after incorrect response. This would have immediately shown me all the solutions, but there's only one solution to this. So I go, oh, that's wrong. Well, I knew it was, I think this is the word. Oh, yeah. And so I've got them all correct. It's shown me the answers, but it's now this cyan instead of the green. Now, if I go, oh, I entered Elopian wrong, I can then once again go back to the markers correct, and I'm going to do that. In fact, I'm gonna if I go, oh yeah, I got it, but I'm not really sure that's actually a word, I'm going to markers missed. Next question. Okay. It's Sophia. Next question, ovaries, violate. So I'm just typing him in, moino. Now, if you wanted to be like a speed player on racks like this, and you thought you only need to get it in 10 seconds, you can. There are settings that allow you to. I'm not so harsh on myself because I know that for these type of racks, it's just really, for some reason, it's just really hard for me. In fact, I might even not know what that is. I want to do like an amorize. It's not a mortise. So, okay, let's say I don't know what this is. It's almost like isomer, like with an E, but no. Airsome. Okay, so there's a good reason that I didn't see this one. It tells me I got it. So this is probably my card box, as you can see. I'll talk about card box in another video once again. 6 out of 9. So, and the last time I got it was 3 weeks ago. So I haven't been keeping up with my study. Bad. So I'm not too upset. So I'm just going to go to the next one. Well, this is embarrassing. So, okay, so let's say, it is being in alphabetical, so I'm going to set it back to random. You can do vowels first. You can do consonants first. For some people, it's just easier. I can tell you it looks like this word. Oh, if I put in a solution that isn't there, this is what will happen. And that can get a bit annoying when you're typing fast. So I know I've figured it out. It's Peloria. Oops. See, now I misspelt that. I actually did mean to do Peloria, and so I can go back. Nice hooks there. The N isn't always known, and this is a good one to know because S. It does take an S where you might assume that it doesn't, because a lot of IA words don't take the S. I'm going to mark it as correct. Oh, and I'm finished. Right. So, if I had put in my... So if I put in words that weren't correct for some of the answers, I'd see them down here. And when I do like a card box, there will definitely... I'm going to go through like 25 questions of a card box or something and do them. Here, this gives me the words that I missed. I just didn't know. So it tells you, look, here you go, probability 559, 550, that's fine. Playability, yeah, so I should know these. So if I wanted to, say, print a list out of these, I can do this. I can say save the list, Word, and then I can put them in a text file. Maybe I'll put them into my desktop so I know where they are. As you can see, I make a lot of lists, okay? 5s that aren't 7s, 7s, 8s that aren't hooks, 9s. Why am I looking at 9s? There's a reason, because they got hooks. Like I said, I like hooks. I like to do tricky plays on the board, and you kind of need to know them. Anyway, or now I can do an add list to card box, or I can do a remove list from card box. Sometimes you'll accidentally add the list to it. So if I wanted to add the list, put it in, estimate card box, and based on performance, I can select that, or put them into a specific box. Like I can say, so each box in a card box has a some time limit as into when you're going to review them next, if you keep up with schedule, and you can tell it where you want them. I just usually just let it estimate. I'm actually just going to cancel that because I know one of them's in there. And yeah, that's it. So that's it for using the quiz. What I might do, so I can just close this. No. I will do another quiz. Let's do some anagrams. Now I could do the card box. So I can do the card box, I can do the schedule, or I can do specific ones that only have one anagram again, or things, or 4 letters. So what I'm actually going to do, I'll do card box in another video. What I'll do, I will do some 4s. So I'm going to do 4s that have WU in them, and see how many there are. Okay. Alright, so there's 9. That's easy. I suggest when you're getting used to this that you always use small number of questions. Don't do hundreds, because then your motivation sort of wanes. The most I think I've done of these questions in a day is like 150. It can be more if it's a smaller. If it's like 4-letter words, I could maybe do 200 or 300, but your brain does get tired. So I'm going to quickly go through this. W-A-U-R, that's W-A-U-K. So what I'm doing here is I'm just pressing enter and then hitting the markers thing. So I don't want to bother putting them in. I know what it is. W-H-U-P, voodoo, wool. As you can see, because I have it in a random order, it's actually given it to me in the order. Wall, wuss, wuds, swum, and that's it. So if I got anything wrong, it tells me I got 100%. Good, I'm happy. So yeah, that's how you can use the quiz feature and how it can be very powerful, and it's very good for reviewing things that especially if you know you're weak on something, or you just want to review a bunch of letters. Alright, I'll leave it there for now. Hope you had fun.